Today I'm gonna test the new parking mode of the GrblHal firmware. What's the parking and why it's very interesting? So if you come from other CNC controller, I think my old Gearball controller, there's a pause button where what it does is when you click the pause, it stops the spindle spinning and then it goes up, maybe go to Z0. And I think on Maso, they have the same thing. When you click the pause, it behaves the same thing. But on AltMill, I can't find a way to do that. Clicking the pause, let me demo to you. So I'm gonna run this program. When I click pause, the spindle is still spinning and the Z and the spindle is still on its position. So there's no clearance. And let me stop it. And there's a lot of case that I want to pause it and I want to have some clearance with that. For example, I clamp my materials and somehow I didn't anticipate that the clamp will be cut by the spindle. So I usually hit pause, remove that clamp, or move it somewhere else that won't be hit by the bit. Or sometimes I don't use tab on the inner cut, and then that small piece of wood or object, it's kind of hitting the bits and sometimes flew away. Sometimes it's damaged your material being cut. Now in this case, I'm gonna run this program. But before that, I'm gonna show you what's the settings for the parking. So usually there's a number 41. So that's, you need to enable that. And then for 42, the axis I want to park. So in this case, I want to park the Z. I don't care about the X and Y. And parking pull out distance, this is so it's already plunged to your material, so it's spinning. So before it actually perform a rapid movement, it's gonna do 5 millimeter movement on the speed of number 57, which is 100 millimeter per minute for me. And then after it travels that 5 millimeter, it will perform the rapid movement, the fast rate, which is currently set up to 6,000 millimeter per minute for me. And then there's a bunch of other settings. We don't need to care about that, but you can play with it. So now I'm gonna run the same program, but okay, also before I forgot, so I cannot use the pause command on the descender. So what I can use to simulate it is I can use the actual push button on the e-stop. There's a 3 buttons, so there's a pause already. So for that, I'm just gonna type button. And then if you click the button one, it's already mapped to cycle start. The middle one, button to action, I map it to a park. Instead of the feed hold. I think the feed hold is by default. And then button 3 is already reset, so I'm not gonna change that. Okay, we're ready to test it. Let me start. So now let's try again. I'm gonna hit play. And this time, instead of hitting the pause on the G-Sender, I'm gonna click the pause button on the e-stop. And look what happened. So now I have a safe, I have a clearance to work on this area without worrying I'm gonna be cut by the spindle. And then let's click resume. There you go. Let's pause it again. And then probably just cancel the whole thing. Reset. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.